What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. Welcome back to another stream for you guys. This is your post-match reaction. Tottenham 2, Borussia Dortmund 0. And what the hell was that, Tottenham? What the hell was that after the week we've had, losing to West Ham, going out the FA Cup to Aston Villa in shocking style? We have just put Borussia Dortmund away emphatically. That first 45 minutes was our best 45 minutes of the season. Spurs were scintillating, they were aggressive, they were creating chances at will, and you know, everyone's going to look at it, if you didn't watch the game, saying it was only because of the 10 man, it was only because Borussia Dortmund got a man sent off, but that was not the case. Before the red card, Spurs were just as emphatic before the red card as they were after the red card in those first 45 minutes. But please, Brian, tell me, where did that performance come from today?
First of all, how good is it to come onto a match reaction and be positive, happy, smiling? Look, we all feared the worst, didn't we? We all feared the worst with the selection, the Matisse Tell thing, Solanke starting, Spence on the wing, and with Borussia Dortmund in very, very good form, and in us, the exact opposite. I don't think we could have envisaged that sort of performance. Thoroughly enjoyable after evenings watching football. The second half wasn't the greatest spectacle, but there were still opportunities. Just Spurs, for the first time in a long time, go to that changing room with the most upbeat positivity, happiness. Now fourth in the Champions League table. Looks like we're dead cert for the final top 8, so there's no playoff.
Well, if we win the last game, yeah.
And could a point do it?
No, I don't. I think
so
we'll probably have to win.
Eintracht Frankfurt, but in a lot better position than we thought we would have been. And there's a lot of people leaving that stadium today that would have thought, oh, this could be a nightmare. That could just say, thank God I was there and got to see that performance, because fair play to the manager today, fair play to the team who were non-stop running. You look at people like Solanke, who has hardly featured or hasn't featured all season, a couple of cameos, putting in 70 minutes or so, and getting a goal, hold up, play brilliant. Destiny, fantastic. Xavi playing with an injury. If that's what he plays like with an injury, just imagine what he'll be playing like when he's fully fit. Just a day of what the fuck is wrong with our football club.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, I think we said it at the beginning of the stream, it'll just be so classic Spurs for Spurs to win today after all the noise about Frank and everything like that, after everything I've said, everything you've said, everything everyone said, for Spurs to go and win the hardest game that we had on paper in the Champions League this season. I mean, we blew them away. We absolutely blew them away. And not only did we blow them away, but we were down on our knees in terms of personnel that we had available to us. We had Spence on the wing, turning into prime Jedith Bale today. I can't believe what I was watching. You know, we were aggressive, winning the ball back in key areas of the park. Xavi Simons was literally everywhere. The amount of times he was winning the ball back, starting attacks for us. Wilson Odobert was electric down that right-hand side. The way he was burning Schlotterbeck was incredible. I couldn't believe my eyes. Like, that first 45, I couldn't fault anything. I couldn't fault anything in that performance. Like, the red card was most definitely a red card, and, you know, credit to the VAR for pulling it back, and the referee and correcting his decision and making the right decision. I mean, both goals that we scored, I mean, there were a bit of fortune in both of them. Let's be honest about them.
Not the first one, because it was pure skill from
Oh, yeah, of course it was. Odobert obviously scuffing a touch, and it goes over the defender, and he clings onto the ball and plays a lovely ball into Cuti Romero, and that sets us on our way. And our second one, Odobert plays it into Dominic Solanke, and it hits his right leg, then his left leg, then back to his right leg, and then finds his way back into the back of the net. So, look, we were fantastic in the first half, but both goals did come a bit through fortune.
Well, you look at it, we've needed some fortune, haven't we?
Yeah.
I mean, we've a bit, and I will say, Joe,
but you create your own luck, this is what they say.
Yeah, you go back to the red card as well. I will say, like someone put a super chat in the first half, this referee let the game flow. There was hardly any VAR intervention apart from that and the penalty, which we thought was the right decision, that we should have had a penalty. The energy as well, Porro looked revitalised, looked from looking knackered. The energy and work rate of the team, you wouldn't have thought the performance we just had against West Ham was a few days ago.
I know.
They look like they've been at a health spa, or the training ground, and a lovely health retreat, a couple of massages, and ready to go. you can't fault them today. You cannot fault them, and you can't. Whether people think he should stay or should go, or given to Burnley, Frank has got it absolutely right today with a very bare bones squad, like you said. And it's a joyous day. We haven't had many of them this season for Tottenham fans.
What you got to say is that Dominic Solanke and Destiny Udogie made such a difference today, didn't they? Destiny is our, what you could say, first choice left back. Yep. Dominic Solanke is probably our first choice number 9 as well. Solanke we haven't seen all season. Udogie in and out of injury all season as well. To have them both back and to see the performances they both put in. I mean, Solanke, his hold-up play I thought was absolutely fantastic. For someone that's been out for 6 months, I haven't seen him all season, to put in the work rate and energy levels that we saw in that first half, I thought was fantastic. And Destiny Udogie, his first game back from injury, he's been on the bench the last couple of games, and the energy and the level of work rate he put in, I mean, it felt like nobody could get down that left-hand side for us because he was just there, the anticipation to intercept so many balls as well. I mean, both of them. And I thought the way that Destiny was linking up with Jed was just incredible. Yeah, I mean,
let's touch on both. I'm a fan of both the players, and I honestly thought before his injuries that Solanke could do very, very well for Thomas Frank, really well. And I think what we've seen with him missing, obviously he didn't get amongst the goals last season, but like you said, his hold-up play and his work for the team, we just haven't had that all season. You've just seen against very, very tough opposition to come in and get his first start under so much pressure, to come in and do that. His hold-up play in the first half, you could see, obviously fortunate with his goal. As for Destiny, this guy, when he comes in, like we saw Brighton away, and when he had that little spell when he first came back, we look at different teams. It brings the best out in Xavi as well. Xavi's best games have been when there's been balance on the flanks. And Destiny today just shows how important and how big a player he can be, just keeping him fit. And hopefully with Sousa signing, who knows when, it's been dragging on, if we can actually rotate, there is such a good player in Destiny Udogie. There really is the power. Like you said, he's non-stop running, his anticipation. He was brilliant today, absolutely brilliant, and put in such a shift. He lasted all 90, didn't he?
Yeah.
Just honestly, a great performance from him. Great performance.
Yeah, and it was just like that weird kind of dynamic with Destiny because before we saw Solanke for the first time, which was against Aston Villa, in that press conference pre-Aston Villa, Thomas Frank goes, "Well, Destiny and Solanke are both going to be in the matchday squad, but Udogie is much closer to coming back than Solanke." Yeah. Solanke played 10 minutes, then half an hour, and still we'll be yet to see Udogie. We're like, what is going on here? He's been on the bench, but we haven't seen him. Well, he looked completely match fit today, Destiny Udogie, and put in an absolutely fantastic performance. Let's touch back on Xavi again, because for me, he was my man the match. I thought he was everywhere, creative, aggressive, showed the defensive side of his game as well today. Even right until the last minute, he was running through the channels, creating chances for us, obviously played that ball to Porro. I mean, he was full of creativity, and his passing was absolutely on point today, wasn't it? And I say that is by far his best performance in a Spurs shirt, isn't it?
Undoubtedly. And you could see he had a smile on his face the whole game. Yeah. We saw it. It was the first time I saw it against Villa in the FA Cup. He started doing this to the crowd, didn't he? He was doing that all game today. He was directing traffic, the tempo of the game, just subtle movements to create space. He looks like he just wanted to create and get that ball forward all the time. I've spoken about it many times, as have you. The work rate he puts in for a number 10, where we've had our flair players where it's like, just stay up there. When we get the ball, you explode, we get the ball to you. What he actually does for the team, he's always back tackling. He wins the ball back when he's lost the ball. Whether it was spraying balls across, switching flanks, through ball, everything he did today was fantastic. And he almost had that goal as well, didn't he, at the near post? Could have had an assist for when he sent Porro off. A fantastic display from him. Like we said, he's been carrying a knock. And after the West Ham performance, where so many people came under fire, he was one of them. He's just shown what he is capable of and what damage he can do. Yeah, absolutely. He lasted 90 minutes. And as you say, he's carrying a knock, playing through the pain barrier for Spurs today, and showed an unbelievable level of performance. Is that a kind of welcome to Tottenham, finally, Xavi Simons? Do you know what? We've been saying this with certain things. I said that after the Brentford game, and then after the Copenhagen game with Frank, and then obviously it all blew up. I think we've been waiting. He's had very good games where he's been very good attackingly.
Yeah.
Or he's had very, very good games where he's good defensively. But I don't think there's been the both. And today, there was certainly both. And obviously, he's against a team he's played many a time. I just think he comes off that pitch right now and he can't wait for Burnley.
Yeah. It's just like, it leaves you, when you watch a performance like that, it leaves you with like kind of more questions than answers of what we've seen so far this season. It's just like, so far we've been complaining so much about our inability to make 5-yard passes and ping the ball around and be dominant in games and be aggressive and press consistently high from the front and create chances. I mean, everything pretty much that we've been complaining about all season we saw in that 90 minutes of football, pretty much, right? Like, how do you even begin to assess something like that? Because we were controlling the game so well. Tactically, we were on point. I mean, Frank played a blinded today. The players are playing a blinded today. Yep. Everything from that 90 minutes of football is just so positive. Where has that been? Where has that been all season? I just don't understand it.
It was kind of like the second half against Brighton, wasn't it? When we were trying to force our way back in. Again, I'll say it. I think destiny. I said it when we were going forward. I think destiny is so important to this team. Not because of him, we've been doing his passing, but we can go down the left and he's there and he's comfortable with his left. Just for the whole balance of the squad. Odegaard, who we see predominantly on the left, was on the right, and in that first half, they couldn't get near him. They could not get near him. The team just looked. All I will say is the clusterfuck of stuff we've had going on since Saturday. They need to do this every single day. Like, that needs to be the norm at Tottenham. Just absolute randomness and unpredictability, and then we'll do this.
It's just, you just can't write this stuff, man. Whenever you think that Spurs are going to win, they go and lose. Because everyone will say before West Ham, even how shit we've been this season, West Ham given 3 points. Poor. They're so shit. Of course we're going to win. We lose the game. We're coming into this Dortmund game. Nobody gave Spurs a hope in hell. Nope. With the players that we had available, with the level of opposition we were playing, with the way Spurs have been in recent months, we were just like, there is no chance Spurs win this game. We played Dortmund off the park today.
Well, we got the 2 right, didn't we? We just didn't get the clean sheet. And like George Orton said, now make that 5 Champions League games. Can we play Bayern, Borussia Dortmund every week?
The thing is, right, before the game, we were sitting here on the watch-along. I asked you to give a prediction. You said 2-2. But you didn't believe that it was going to be 2-2. I knew you didn't believe it was going to be 2-2.
That was my heart overall in
That
my
wasn't
head.
even a heart. That was just like, look, I'm on the watch-along. I need to be positive. You know what I mean?
My head was saying 3-1 Dortmund.
Yeah.
My head was saying 3-1 Dortmund with the way things have been. But, my God, how good is it to be wrong sometimes?
Mate, it's unbelievable to be wrong sometimes. And big love to Cuti Romero once again, hitting the ball and scoring yet another goal in such a great moment for Tottenham Hotspur. But for me, Kevin Danso, what a performance he put in. Every time, well, both of them, I think, were both so aerially dominant. And they were big reasons why Spurs would be able to sustain that pressure on Dortmund for the majority of the game.
You know by more than many how much I love Kevin Danso. I can't remember the last time. Probably I'd say, do you remember that season when Vertonghen got injured and Kevin Wimmer stood in? And it was only for that period. When I see that a Romero or a Van der Ven out, yes, we lose their qualities. But as soon as I see Kevin Danso's out, I'm like, okay, cool, no worries. He is so dependable.
Yeah.
In the air, he is the best aerial defender we have. He is a colossus. He is such a valuable squad member. Again, he's deputised for Romero Van der Ven this time. I just love that man. I think he's so underrated, and I think we are so lucky to have him. Remember, he was almost at Wolves. We hijacked, and delighted we did, because I think he is such a good player. Such a good player.
Yeah. Both of them great. Porro, again, I mean, not again, but I think like his passing was a lot better in this game. I think first half, he was such a threat, him and Odegaard, the way they were combining in the first half. Obviously, he had to go into midfield because he got another injury to Lucas Bergvall. And yeah, when he went into midfield, I still think he kept up some sort of level of performance. I think passing, he put a few wayward passes after he went into the midfield, and obviously he should have sealed it off 3-0 right at the end with a lovely bit of play from Xavi Simons. But I thought he upped his game today. I think everyone just upped their game today. And Jed Spence out on that left wing, like, where did that performance come from? Like, where?
The suits. It's the suits. Wear the suits.
They all walked in suits today. But What happens now with Jed Spence? Do we give him another game at left winger at Burnley this weekend? Does Tell come back in? Because there's the Tell situation to talk about as well. Like, look, I'll tell you, I was the one that tweeted it out. I was the one that put it on Instagram, #FreeTell.
Yep.
And I've got egg on my face today talking about that because Solanke and Spence both put in an unbelievable performance. But you got to think, where does this leave Matty's Tell? Because obviously he's pushing for a move now after being omitted from the Champions League squad. I think the treatment of him has been dreadful so far from Thomas Frank. But you got to say, on this occasion, he's been proven right.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, what people got to look at as well, there were so many people that went mad at that situation, like you said. Thomas Frank has got it right. And even I've been criticising Thomas Frank recently since the Bournemouth game, whatever. If we're going to criticise for wrongdoing, you've got to praise for right doing.
Absolutely.
And he's got that right there. But like you said with Porro, he has looked so exhausted. And I'll keep saying, if there's anyone that deserves a rest in this football club, it's him. Whether it be a game, 2 games on the bet, whatever. He was so energetic today.
Yeah.
It's like he'd been conserving his energy for the last 2 games so he could burn it all off on this one. He was pinging crosses in. He was getting forward. They were trying that long ball with Xavi like they did for Richarlison against Brentford. We look back at this, and that team performance from the 11 that started, obviously Bergvall is going to be a concern, but obviously Gallagher could come in there, so that's that one sorted. But these players today have done the manager proud, have done themselves proud, done the fans proud, and Tottenham Hotspur, where have you been? Let me just say hello again. We like seeing that, Tottenham. Let's hope it stays around for a while, for February.
Absolutely. And, you know, after that great performance, it leaves us 4th in the Champions League group, above PSG after they lose today, which leaves us going into the top 8 into the last game of the Champions League. That's for certain. We can't drop out the top 8 now in this game week of the Champions League. We got an away game against Eintracht Frankfurt. If we win that, we're most certainly in the top 8, and
which would be a brilliant accomplishment.
And we miss out on that playoff and go straight into the last 16, which is absolutely fantastic. Yep. And nobody thought that was going to be the case before this game. Nope. Where does that leave Thomas Frank now? Because obviously there was a unified voice in the fan base saying Thomas Frank's got to go with what he's shown so far this season. Obviously I said it, you said it, everyone said it. Does this performance change anything?
I'll tell you what would be very interesting. Hopefully some people calling the fan show that were there, and they can say what the mood was like within the stadium, whatever. And we don't know if it got signed off yesterday or Sunday. We've got no idea what's in the club. You put that poll out, and it was mainly, what was it, giving Burnley?
Giving Burnley was the majority, and then second was out, and then third was in.
Like a lot of people said, it's one performance. We said, how many times we said that when we saw the Brentford performance, when we saw the Crystal Palace performance, which wasn't the greatest job done. It's come a lot in these one-off performances, haven't they? So you can understand the scepticism on, it's just another performance. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, you can't predict on. If we said, you should get Burnley, we'll probably hear he gets sacked. If we say he gets sacked, we'll hear he gets Burnley. You just never know what this football club's going to do.
I just don't know what to think anymore. I really don't know what to think, because I was adamant. I've been adamant. I was saying it's crazy. How is he still in a job? Why haven't they sacked him yet? And now after that performance, I'm just like thinking, what am I supposed to think now? What am I supposed to think?
Nick will probably go, Steve, we know what we're doing. You see people, why are you going nuts to us? We know what we're doing.
But I think they have to give him the Burnley game now, surely.
If it wasn't signed, sealed, delivered already...
If it's signed, sealed, delivered already, then he would be out of the job. He wouldn't be managing this game.
After this game. No, I'm saying if they said, right, after this game, it's done, then there's no turning back, is there?
Because we're all saying, like, it's a disgrace on ENIC. How can you throw him to the wolves like that? How can you put him in that situation? It's his toxic... There's no toxic atmosphere in the stadium today because of the way we played, and he was a manager that got them to play that way. So I said before the game, even if he wins this game, he should still go.
Yep.
That's what I said before the game. But first of all, I didn't have 1 ounce of belief that we could win this game. So I was just saying, I was just saying it, basically. And second of all, even if we were to win it, I didn't envisage us to heavily dominate in the way that we did and play the football that we did. And, it was 2-0, could have been more. Could have been a lot more today. So I think they have to give him the Burnley game. I think it's right for the jury to still be out on Thomas Frank, and if we back this up with a poor performance at Burnley, then I think it's probably still right to cut your losses and go your separate ways and to bring in a new manager or an interim manager to the end of the season. But we've seen good performances this season, but it's always been backed up with a poor performance. So, yeah, I think I don't think they won't sack him now until after Burnley, surely.
Well, you look at this now as well. Let's just say we do get a good result against Burnley. Well, let's just say don't lose. Have they set a precedent to say, right, February, all these matches are not really winnable unless you're like literally on fire, you're safe for all of February? Because you've got to remember, if we only pick up a point or whatever and February is as bad, at what point do you say, right, but then we could have qualified to the quarterfinal or the last, 16 or 32 of the Champions League?
Well, but put it this way, Ange only stayed in a job because he was still in the Europa League.
Yeah.
Is Frank going to stay in a job as long as he's in the Champions League?
Who knows? You just never know. We are a social experiment. That's what we are. We are an experiment of abnormality.
I just don't understand this football club. But look, let us know in the comment section below. Like, are you guys still Frank out, or even if you are Frank out, do you think he, on the back of this performance, he deserves the Burnley game? Because I still think I side with Frank out, but I think he deserves the Burnley game. But that just doesn't make sense. So
this club doesn't. Has there been any press bits from Frank on Twitter?
Not yet. It's a bit too early for that. It'll come out in the next 10, 15 minutes, I think.
Okay.
But, if he does get the Burnley game, and if we do have a very good performance and win the game,
yep,
then what does that say?
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I think we have more shots today than we've had in the last 3 games.
Yeah. I
mean, I just don't know what anything means.
Like, we emphatically beat this Dortmund side, who was second in the Bundesliga and having a very good season. And they were level on points with us in the Champions League.
I'm not having any. The 10 men changed it. I don't think.
No,
I
not
think
at all.
even with 11, we were too much for them. They created nothing.
Like, this was a massive game today.
Huge.
This was a massive game today, and we've just swept aside our opponent.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I can't believe what I saw. Like, look at the stats, right? 2.23 XG for Spurs, 0.38. So Dortmund having a bit of Thomas Frank XG themselves. 16 shots to 6 shots, and most of those 6 shots comes in the last few minutes for Dortmund. Where's the shots on target? We've had 5 shots on target to Dortmund's 1.
So as much as 1?
They had 1 shot on target. Over. Yeah, that was it.
The header.
That was it. So, I mean, Vicario, pretty much for the majority of the game, could have been in a sleeping bag and not have to do anything. That's how good our defence was in terms of Danso, Romero, Udogie, and Porro.
Yep.
Not to mention Janai Beifeld, comes on and makes his debut for Tottenham Hotspur, academy graduate at 17, comes on at right back to move Porro into midfield. What a day it is for him.
Unbelievable. Obviously, we'll wait to see. It didn't look good for Bergveld, did it? It looked like he was holding his calf more than his
he tried to run
groins,
off. But...
So let's hope that's not too long. But we now have Gallagher available, don't we? And Bissouma will be, if he's going to be part of the team. So there is cover there, so to speak.
But look, that is the situation. Spurs will be in the top 8 going into the last group stage game in the Champions League. I want to know your opinions in the comment section below. Does this change anything to your opinions on Thomas Frank? Is it a wait and see job? Because at the end of the day, if you are going to change manager, it is only going to be an interim. And what does that look like for the rest of our season? What does that look like, having an interim in? Do we may as well give Frank the chance to turn it around after that performance?
Mate, I just don't know what to say anymore. When it comes to this football,
I'm lost. I'm just completely lost.
I don't know what to say anymore.
Yeah. But look, Spurs have won 2-0. It's a great night at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and that keeps our Champions League run going. And 1 game left to go. Frankfurt away next week to seal our spot in the top 8. No, I'm not going. I'm going to be here in the studio. So very much looking forward to that. And look, we shall see what happens. And that is your instant match reaction. I see that comment. Ben, stop flip.